Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Way We Nerd / Off the Rack. This is, I guess this is still an experiment a little bit. Episode 2 of our first video series from the Way We Nerd and a comic book podcast spinoff.
Issue
the
2
Rack.
of our crossover series, maybe?
Yeah,
Issue 2, I like that.
Our amalgamated show, or whatever.
So, we're going to start from over here on the left here with the groomsmen assemble, because I'm assuming that's from your wedding.
Yes, it
That's
was.
awesome.
Yes, it
I love
was.
it.
Thank you very much. I'm John Hudson.
Joshua Potter.
Dana Villalobos.
Alex Wills.
Russell Thun.
And what's so special about this episode is we have all 5 of us from Off the Rack here. Like that's what's very, very exciting. Because it's really, really hard to coordinate 5 schedules, especially when everybody works or doesn't work, but just has a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, so if anybody's hiring, no, I'm just kidding. So I'm a little bit delirious, guys. So I'm gonna let you guys talk for most of this stuff, even though I've seen these trailers, because we're gonna talk about Comic-Con. Very, very important part of nerddom. And
Yes.
3 of us went. Wait, did you go? No, you went.
I went.
And you went.
I
Because
went.
your lovely wife gave it to you as a anniversary gift, birthday gift.
Birthday gift. It was a birthday gift.
Nice.
Nice.
So that's a great damn gift.
I thought so.
A weekend of just complete nerdvana.
Yes.
And from what I understand, like with a lot of studios not coming around as much, it seems to be going back more towards the comics, anime, sci-fi, like the stuff
Yeah.
that it was built on. Not that Hollywood stuff isn't cool, but it seems like nowadays people are like, oh, I just want to go to the parties. No, go for the comic books and all the fantasy stuff. It's so cool. Anyway, John, any just things you want to share that just like, because I mean, obviously there's so much to talk about. We'll get into the trailers and we'll get into the announcements, but I want to hear like, what was the craziest costume you saw?
Oh, the
Because Comic-Con
costume.
is or the best made one. Like I saw 2 Transformers there one year. They had been on stilts, but holy crap, they look real.
I didn't see anything
I
like
was
that.
waiting for them to turn to cars.
Probably. Yeah, right. Well, this is my first Comic-Con I've ever been to. Definitely an experience. Yeah, so
Rookie, virgin, love it.
Virgin territory. Got in there midday Friday. Totally blown over. Saturday, tried to think I'd get my feet under myself and get back into the swing of things. Nope. It wasn't until Sunday where I actually felt comfortable and able to go around and do everything that I had intended to do. And a lot of that was because of, as you mentioned, the panels and a lot of the business side of the event that was there. And it's funny you mentioned that you thought that corporatization was kind of like pulling out a little bit, because that is the exact opposite of what I saw. Like,
Hell yeah.
Like they was literally 2/3 of the convention floor, which is mostly vendors and corporate interest, was all corporate interest. Was for the most part was just corporate interest.
Yeah.
And there's some things I could go into and be negative about, but I don't want to make this podcast about that. I will say that I did have a fun experience. As you mentioned, the costumes were some great things. We're gonna have some of those on our website, I think, because I have those to give
cool.
to you.
Yeah.
But probably the best costume that I saw, I don't know about you, but I saw
we're gonna
Tim
throw it to
Curry
Russell.
from Legend. Somebody pulled him off and had like a little stuffed animal unicorn
Oh,
there
you
walking
have
around.
no idea, dude. That is for me
That
one
was
of the most
fantastic.
one of the most underrated fantasy movies of all time, and I could talk a whole half hour about it, so we're not going to.
Right.
But Tim Curry is the reason. Tom Cruise, Ridley Scott directed fantasy from the 80s, the golden age of fantasy movies, in my opinion, the 80s.
I would say Tim Curry is the best, but I also did have a slight, wanted to give a shout out to the robotics teams out there, because I saw a great, what is the name from the derelicts or whatever they are from Doctor Who?
Oh, Daleks?
The Daleks.
Daleks.
Not the
Derelicts.
Derelicts.
I mean,
Pretty much.
So like one guy was outside chasing people around with it, like just like chasing after people like this with his little arms, and it was great. And so I would follow him and go, exterminate, exterminate, and I was able to jump on that train a little bit. And there's also at least 2 or 3 R2D2s running around over there that were more valuable than a trash can. So that's pretty cool.
Like the $25,000 one they sell in Galaxy's Edge, which apparently they sold 6 of. They had like maybe 2. Like,
who has
they thought that maybe
$25,000 to just blow on an RPG?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy.
Apparently 6 people.
if I had $26,000, I would blow it on an R2. I will say that right now.
Okay.
Right?
That's just me though, and luckily I'll never have $26,000 at one time. So Russell, how about you?
My Comic-Con experience was a bit trifling.
Trifling. Ooh.
Because every year we do the Hall H Saturday lineup.
Marvel this year.
Yeah, so we have to do the...
That's right. You waste an entire day because you have to wait.
I think our group back in 2015 when Force Awakens was coming out, we started the whole Excel document sheet where we sign up for our shifts. We get a group, we swap in and out of line.
That's smart.
And then every year you saw more and more people doing that. And I think you told me that there's a Reddit group where people assemble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They assemble groups.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where
So there's like 2 people waiting in line for a group of like 50.
Yep.
I don't want to explain the whole rules, but then like it got to a point where I showed up in line for my shift on Friday night because I got off work on Friday night. So I drove to San Diego from LA. It took me 4 hours. I ran and made it to the wristband line right before they started passing them out, and I ran to my ex-girlfriend of all people. I was like, whoa! Nice. I was like, oh, she's doing Hall H now. You never did Hall H when we were together,
right?
Anyway, but
we could do a whole podcast on Russell's relationship.
I know.
I
was happy to hear. And then and so we did the wristband thing, and we camped out overnight. Line starts
8:45.
Yeah. So Friday morning is when they made the line start, because people try to line up at Thursday for a Saturday panel, but Comic-Con wasn't having it, which is good.
Yeah,
that is good.
Thank God.
So it was like 6 a.m. on a Friday morning, all the way up until 8:45 p.m. And then people overnighted to save their spot so you can get to the front of the Hall H. And
wow. I think I've done Hall H once in my 3 times at Comic-Con, and I don't even remember what it was for. I think it was like
worth it.
Yeah. Well, because luckily it wasn't one of the ones where I waited for a long time. I waited for maybe an hour or 2. I think it was like a Fox panel, and it was and they had like X-Men stuff, and they had some stuff up there. But and I think they had the Fantastic Four stuff up there. The Josh Trank.
Fan Four stick.
Nice. Yeah. But I just want to ask.
That's good. I like that.
From a past Comic-Con experience, you went to the Force Awakens one. That's the one where J.J. Abrams led a mass exodus at a Hall H.
I was there for
to go
that.
watch a concert, and then Kevin Smith followed him, and he had like 6,000 people. And Hall H is like 15. It's huge.
6,000 to 7,000
in
capacity.
there. Yeah, 6,000. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Yeah, 6 to 7,000 capacity, and about 6,000, maybe more, walked out to go watch the Star Wars show. And poor Kevin Smith was there with the smallest Hall H he has ever had. And Kevin Smith is like Comic-Con royalty. Like he's
he's been there since I started in 2005.
Yeah, or more rights. One of those. He's been going for so long.
He did the last one this year too. I think he got the last. It was like reformatting or rebooting Hall H.
Yeah. I went to that one too.
Yeah, it was pretty full too from what I saw.
Yeah,
pictures his daughter Harley Quinn took from the crowd. Because those are the ones that confirm how many people were there. Like they can fake. You can fake photos really easy. Professional photographers, where it makes it look like the crowd's much bigger. Donald Trump inauguration. Anyway, there's a
couple shots I got of the crowd above the convention floor, and I'll tell you right now, there's no faking that. That's asses to elbows. Like
I've been there, man. Dude,
for me, I'm not anxious around crowds, but I like to be. I appreciate my movement, and so when I can't do that physically in a space, I get about 45 minutes before I'm just kind of like.
As Comic-Con,
totally.
It's been a few years since I've gone. Has Comic-Con finally adopted the wristband thing instead of doing like the tags that you pin to your shirt?
They're trying to do wristbands for more and more stuff from what I saw. Because I know that Hall H was a big thing.
How are they so low tech?
Oh, you still have the
the
lanyard
RFID.
and the thing, right? Yeah.
For sure. But it's over there.
It scans. WonderCon's like that too. You scan into a little thing you walk through.
That's what I'm talking about. That's different because
they
we had those badges. Last time I went, you tape to your chest and they scan it with a manual scanner, like a portable scanner, and
seems slow.
No, my God, it was. And I remember one time, there's so many people. I walked right by a guy and we smashed into each other, and my badge attached to his backpack. And luckily I noticed before I got too far, because I was like, "Whoa, where's my badge?" And I turned around, I saw it on his back. I'm like, "Hey, come back!" And pulled it off because if you lose a badge, they don't replace them. Yeah. I don't know if this is still the way now, but.
I looked into
it. They don't replace them.
Well, for me, when I got there, the first thing I realized my license wasn't in my pants. Luckily, I packed the pants they were in, but at first I was like, so I'm like, got to San Diego. That's the first thing I saw. I was like, God dang it. So I got into it and looked into it. You can replace them, but you will need to either have identification to identify yourself to confirm that it is your badge. So I had. That's
cool. Yeah. No, they were a little stricter the last time I went, but that it's probably because their technology's gotten better. Anyway, so.
I was gonna say about Hall H.
I want to hear some more about Hall H. It's like a rock concert.
Yeah. So people don't understand why you have to line up 36 hours ahead. Like, why do that? Why for a panel? It's like, no, it's for Marvel. You do not understand. You saw Endgame. You want to know what Phase 4 is. And people are like, well, you could just read the news. Like, you do not understand unless you've been to Hall H and a Marvel panel, because it is pandemonium. The energy, and the way they announce things one by one, and the demonstration, the performances, the surprise guest appearances, the actors, they put on a show. It's like Coachella.
Yeah.
It's it would be better if everyone was on Molly and all the and drugs and stuff. But no, I feel it's the nerds version of a rock concert.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
And people don't understand that because you have to have been in the room to understand it.
Yeah.
It's one thing to look on
It's-
YouTube. It does not. It only represents a micro, like, feeling.
Yeah.
And then
I think all 5 of us have experienced all age, right?
I have.
I haven't
been.
No,
I-
no,
I-
I've never
Magic.
been.
I have.
Dude,
Way
I
back
can't
in
afford
the
it.
day.
I haven't been able to afford it yet, so it's fine. I'll go.
You're gonna go
I'll
with me next
eventually.
year
Yeah,
because
eventually.
I still get professional badges, which are a little cheaper than the regular ones. So anyway, sorry, I wanted to ask you about one thing in particular. Well, Holly, it's not one thing in particular, but did they show any footage? Because I know Black Widow's already started shooting, and I think
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, is that right?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
I want to get that right. I don't know that character, so I'm looking forward to reading about him,
Yeah,
reading
me
him,
too.
his stuff.
because I'm Asian, I need.
I was gonna ask you. So you happy you got the representation?
Yeah,
We got Black
yes.
Panther last year, and then now we got Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, which is super exciting.
Oh my God.
We're gonna get the real Mandarin, who's played by Asian superstar Tony Leung. I don't know if I'm saying his name
Lung.
right. Lung.
Lung,
Okay.
yeah.
That guy has been in like more movies than anybody except for maybe Jackie Chan.
Just a few.
Like
He's been in a few, you know.
He's
yeah,
such a talented actor.
he
too,
dabbles
so
toast.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited to
Yeah.
have him as the Mandarin.
That's-
So.
It'll be great.
Because that's all you had to do. People were saying like, "Oh, we didn't want to get racist," and that's why we cast it. Even though I love what they did with Ben Kingsley, don't get me wrong, but I do love that they also retconned it that the real Mandarin is part of it.
Yeah. In all hail the king.
But when they were saying it was going to get
I wish
racist,
they
like,
still
no,
did one shots.
you just cast the right actor and you don't make it like
Yeah.
a silly caricature of.
the Fu Manchu.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
do that,
He doesn't need to be that. He just needs
Don't
to be
stereotype
Chinese.
it.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
all the Mandarin needs to be is Chinese, and
Well,
then
it's funny you
work on
mentioned
the rest of it later.
Fu Manchu is actually Shang-Chi's dad in the comics.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's like,
Fu Manchu is a character in Marvel Comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
and they're like,
I
no,
don't
we're
know.
going to
Shang-Chi.
replace him with the Mandarin. And it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, can we be a little more sensitive here?
So, Hall H panel, continue. I want to hear more.
All right. Well, let's go.
Did they
with
show any
Marvel.
footage? Did they show any footage?
They did.
Okay.
But you have to understand that the footage that they show is like
Oh, it's very rough. I'm sure. Yeah, to say the least. It's not going to go out to the rest of us yet. Ever.
because in the beginning, Kevin Feige, before Kevin Feige came out on stage, they showed a sizzle reel of the past 11 years of Marvel, and then it was enthralling, and then the end of it said Infinity Saga, and then Kevin Feige comes out and he says, Endgame is about to surpass Avatar for the #1 movie in the world of all time,
And it has.
Congratulations, Marvel.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
So he announced that,
Which is moot because Disney owns both, so.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then he came out and he said, but I want to introduce you to a panel of people behind the scenes that you never get to see. So he brought out like Luis Esposito.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he brought out, I can't remember all their names. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
no, but all these people that we've seen in the Marvel credits for
Yeah,
so long,
yeah,
like
yeah.
these names
So-
we know. Did I gotta ask? Did Feige get? He deserves a like rock star welcome. Like the people go nuts to see.
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he
did.
does he come out usually?
He comes out every time.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still, like after all this, after everything we got with the Infinity Saga, that dude deserved like a victory lap. But like, hey, it ain't over.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
got Phase
Still
4,
trying.
5,
Yeah.
9,000. You know, they're gonna Marvel's gonna be making movies just like Star Wars long after we're gone.
Just got a whole bunch more toys dumped in their box, man. They're gonna
Oh,
be.
yeah.
They got 5 and 6 set.
Yeah.
So,
On my Instagram, I have the pictures of the slate. So he started off with this big screen that showed Phase 4 timeline, and it has the dates, and then all the logos of the movies just said Untitled Marvel. So there's like
There's
10
so many of
Untitled Marvel logos, and one by one, he brought out the cast and the sizzle reel of each title, and then it would fill in throughout the whole night.
that's
Wow.
so cool. That's a great presentation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god! And like,
And with all the stars that came out, and then I mean, Angelina Jolie, obviously, as everybody knows, has been cast there. I don't know the Eternals that
she
well.
showed
either.
up.
So, I know, I
Angelina,
saw that,
she
and
showed
she
up.
seemed to
Yeah.
like be like enjoying the hell out of it because
Yeah.
there's so many of these people like her that don't understand the fandom until they go to something like Comic-Con,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then they start realizing because like they get those rock star welcomes. They're like, what the hell? I'm just in a movie, you know. I'm just in a like I'm not, you know, Brad Pitt. Oh my god, I just can't believe I used that.
Where did that come from?
Well, speaking of that, though, think about it from her perspective, though. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's been literally thrown under the bus media-wise since she stole Brad Pitt
Yeah,
and
I
Jennifer
know.
Aniston.
And then she's blamed for the divorce, and it's just like, dude,
yeah, and the only thing she's known since then is for being the queen of evil in a Disney franchise. So it's like,
she's so good in that.
well, she is.
I love. Well, and the thing about it was, I remember there was a couple women, friends of mine, who talked about how they finally had like their Superman, their Superwoman or whatever, because she flew. Like that was a big deal to them. Like Maleficent was, before she fell at the end of the movie, was kind of a superhero. That's why I like that movie so much. Like, it's the only Disney remake that's giving you something different.
Jungle Book too, I would say.
Jungle Book was pretty much the same movie, but it was awesome.
Well, they played upon the whole law of the jungle, and like if the water goes down so far, and there's like
That's true. There's a little more addition, more than Lion King.
It's like jungle politics.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
By the way, that'll be that should
podcast.
the Disney remakes. But anyway, back to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Shang-Chi though, real quick.
I want to hear more about Shang-Chi, please.
Because
who's the actor who plays him? I've never heard of him.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it. Is like, okay, so for me, like, I came into this panel thinking, oh, I hope they show Shang-Chi, because, like, look, I'm Asian, so...
I didn't even know that was a thing happening.
Like the people in my community are just waiting for this. It's like, you're right, it's like the Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like, and then when Kevin Feige played the clip, every clip that he plays is not a clip from the movie, it's graphics. It's just graphics forming a logo, and you're trying to figure out, what's the title gonna be? And it forms a logo and it said Shang-Chi. I'm like, and then we erupted, and then like he announced Tony Leung as the Mandarin, and they showed all the things you missed about the 10 Rings. They showed clips of the past Marvel movies that showed the 10 Rings logo, and we're all like, how did we miss that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
They set that up, and when Tony Leung was announced, like, pockets of us, I was with the group of Asians. So we were like, oh, because we love Tony Leung.
Yeah.
And then Awkwafina was announced, and I just saw the farewell. Love Awkwafina.
Yeah.
I said, oh my god! And then he's like, all right. And I even recorded on my Instagram, like, we're gonna bring out Shang-Chi, and then they announced Simu Liu, and then a lot of us like, oh, who's that? And then some parts of the Asian community know who he is because they watched like Kim's Convenience, or he's been in some YouTube videos.
Okay.
But that was...
So this isn't his first thing ever, but it's his first like
big
major thing.
He came out on stage and he started talking to the crowd in Mandarin, and then you could hear pockets of people like understanding it. Like
That's
people like, woo,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
And then no one bothered to translate what he said whatsoever.
Everybody knew what he was gonna do. It was like, oh crap!
So, but
He's speaking Mandarin. Oh, cool.
yeah, the Mandarin speakers.
Yeah, I was about to say, and they're like, oh, cool. They're
like,
just listening, and they don't even know what they're saying.
We know what he's saying, but everyone else doesn't know what he's saying.
Talking shit to all you white devils.
But he's just saying regular stuff like, hi, my name's Simu. I am so grateful and honored to be cast in. He says the normal grateful stuff, and so that was one of the coolest moments.
My favorite superhero is Asian, and he's been around for a very long time. And I will fight anybody who says he's not a superhero. And that's Bruce Lee. So I'm very excited that this is a martial arts character too. Like so I love martial arts movies, and anywhere you can put martial arts, regardless of the movie, the plot and the story excites me. So I'm so excited for this.
He had a crazy story though. He said, because Hall H was on a Saturday, he said he just got casted on a Tuesday or something like that. Like he went for the screen, he got called on a Sunday, went to the screen test on Tuesday, and all of a sudden he flew out to San Diego. He's like, it happened in less than a week.
Yeah,
all that stuff
That's
happened.
insane.
That would be so overwhelming.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, he petitioned Marvel for the part, from what I understand. Like he was like, "Hey, you guys looking for Shang-Chi?"
He was just joking too. You know how actors do that. They they tag.
Did he do a video like that we can see that's still out there?
I didn't see that. All I knew that he had petitioned.
Because there's like dudes out there like when Teen Titans got announced, were like doing Nightwing stuff and like twirling their bows and doing their martial arts, and absolutely none of them got cast. And some of them are actually named actors too, which is funny.
Going off of what you said, last night or yesterday, he posted on Twitter a picture of his fortune cookie. The fortune, it said, "You will get what you wish for, or what you ask for."
Oh, nice.
And
I figured real Chinese
shut
people.
the front door.
I figured real Chinese people just threw that shit away. I was like, I don't want those carbs.
Yeah. So that was cool. The coolest part, oh man, there's so many. There's 10 announcements plus the bonus announcements that people flipped over. But Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
That was
Thor
my favorite
it's
part.
gonna be great.
Yeah.
Because Natalie Portman showed up. Because when they announced Natalie Portman, we didn't know she was gonna come back. Because we had no idea.
Well, it was funny because me and I don't remember if it was you and I or me and Moorhead. Two of us talked about how was that really Natalie Portman in
I think it was
Avengers?
all three of us to talk about
Yeah,
it.
it definitely was.
Yeah, no,
I found out later it was.
It was her.
She has no lines, and they show her in fleeting glances. Like it's like, are they like digitizing the face on another person? Like it's just like they did for the kiss in the first Thor.
Yeah,
the
where it
post-credit
was
scene.
Chris Hemsworth's wife instead of her at the very end.
Because she was unavailable, or his wife said no.
I make out with you on screen. Yeah.
But anyway, he kissed her like 3 or 4 times in the movie.
When you're in the hall,
Yes.
and Taika Waititi's there, Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson.
I saw him handing the
And then when they announced Natalie Portman was coming back to be the new Thor, the female Thor,
just like the
people
comic
just
books.
erupted.
Oh
and then,
my god!
And then I recorded on Instagram, and then like he calls out Natalie Portman to stage. She comes out on stage, and then he gives her the hammer, and she's like wields it up, and then we're all like, it's pandemonium inside the hall. Like
I'm getting goosebumps, man. You're talking about it because I love that. I love that series. So I'm just saying, have you guys read all the
the
Jason Aaron,
Lady Thor,
for
essentially.
5 or 6 issues,
It's Mighty Thor.
Mighty Thor.
Mighty
Yeah.
Thor.
Yes.
For 5 or
Mighty
6
Thor,
issues.
Lady Thor, Woman Thor, whatever. No,
we didn't know.
It's
We
Mighty
didn't know
Thor,
who
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, no, yeah, they kept it under wraps. What I love about that story too is that she's dealing with cancer at the same time, and turning into the Mighty Thor exacerbates the cancer.
Yes.
In her body. Yeah.
Purges the chemo out. Yeah, whatever she has chemotherapy-wise goes.
You guys need to read it. It's really,
It's so
really
good. And I don't understand. I mean,
and they never call her Lady Thor, which I love.
they don't. No,
Yeah.
it's
She's
always
just
the Mighty Thor.
She's Thor.
Or Thor. Yeah.
Yeah, because at that time Thor becomes Odin's son.
He's Odin's son.
He loses
he's
his name.
He's unworthy. He's unworthy because of the events of, I want to say because of Original Sin.
Secret Origin.
Was it Secret Origin?
It's Original Sin. You're right.
Yes.
It was a long descent.
It was a big build.
It was a long descent.
Well, but the true thing, because I had to go back after the fact to figure out like why the hell Thor couldn't pick his hammer up again, and it basically was self-doubt.
Yes.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Whereas Cap never doubts himself. Yeah. It's like, well, he doubts himself.
The first time, Age of Ultron, right?
No. He knows he's worthy, and he just
stops himself.
He stops himself.
See, I like that. I like that idea.
I don't.
It's fine. He's just being humble. He's being Cap. But
it's very Cap, though.
But it is.
My thing is, like, I mean, to each their own opinion-wise, I don't understand why people dislike that run. Jason Aaron's run on Mighty Thor with Jane Foster. I didn't
know people disliked it.
Yeah, there's a pretty vocal. It's a vocal minority. I'll
because
say
there's probably a bunch of chauvinists, and we should stop giving those people lip service because they don't count.
I agree.
They barely count as people, let alone opinions.
What I'm trying to say is, I think it's fantastic.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's a great twist on Thor, and who thought that at some point Thor would ever be a woman instead of Odin's son? I mean, I think that was a great story.
Guess what, James Bond? They beat you to it. I like this idea of James Bond being a title. We won't get into it too much, but I heard that before, where James Bond is a title. It's not like
that's why there's so many.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, so you could definitely have a woman. You could have anything.
Yes.
That's why you can have Idris Elba still.
I also heard Portman said she was going to bulk up for the role, so I'm excited to see buff Natalie Portman. She's not going to be like Ronda Rousey buff, which is cool.
See, I did a video about this literally 6-7 months ago, thinking you should bring back Natalie Portman for Thor 4, and look what happens. The other part of that theory that I had on my channel, that's MissPrime.com, is if you do go check it out, I was going to say have her, Jane Foster, have Natalie Portman play Jane Foster, and have Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones come in as female Thor. That way you don't have to worry about bulking her up. She can maintain her size. If you did want to go with the chemotherapy or like slowly whittling down of a human, Natalie Portman's what, 5'3", like 110 pounds soaking wet. So she's
gonna do that Christian Bale thing where she loses a bunch of weight and then she gains a bunch of weight, but in the same role.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't know, man. Like get Gwendolyn Christie.
Tobey Maguire. Remember how skinny Toby looked in that one shot, and then the next shot he's like, rah, and then apparently everything else grew too.
It's true. You have to ask Kristen Dunst about that. I don't know. But
I love those Spider-Man movies. So yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna go to a quick break, and then when we get back from the break, we're gonna talk a little bit more Marvel comic. Hall H. You didn't go, right? You didn't actually go to the Hall H?
No, I stood outside with my YouTube on refreshing.
That's cool. So. And we're gonna talk some trailers. All right, see you in a sec. Welcome back to the Comic-Con special of The Way We Nerd Off the Rack, and we were talking to Russell about Hall H and Marvel's big announcements. Is there anything? Well, we did skip one big announcement.
There's a lot more.
There's a lot more, but what about? I want to talk about the one that surprised me the most. Blade.
Oh, I have something.
Blade is coming back, and Oscar winner I do not know how to say
Mahershala Ali.
Ali. I'm just gonna call him Ali.
His presentation was kind of the goofiest one. It was like, hey, you came out on stage. What are you doing here, man? Looks like you brought your own hat. You don't have one. Like, oh, I got this one.
This hat.
The logo you couldn't read hardly because it's like Blade. It's all like angle letters. And
this hat was from Black Widow.
Everyone in the crowd's like,
He was wearing a Black Widow hat.
No, he's wearing a Blade hat.
He also put on the wrong hat. He's like, hey.
I'll tell you about what happened. So basically, the slate, one by one, the logos show up. And then the last one is, oh, we have one last one. What is it? Black Widow. And so Scarlett Johansson came on, and they showed a big clip.
Nice.
An amazing fight sequence.
Hell yeah.
It was...
Taskmaster?
That's a theory. But we don't know if it's Taskmaster. But
I think they've already. No, they've already officially announced.
Well, it's Taskmaster's going to be in it, but
right.
also the Red Guardian.
Because they showed
David
concept
Harbour
art.
is playing. David Harbour is also playing the Red Guardian in it. So that'll be the other.
I was excited to see David Harbour on the cast list. I did not realize he was going to be in it.
So
I keep forgetting that.
I really hope this is a trilogy too, like a prequel trilogy, all Black Widow.
So they gave out these hats, the Black Widow logo, and it says Marvel Studios 2020 on them. So everyone at Hall H got these hats. And after we got those hats, and after we saw the clip of Black Widow, we thought, oh, the panel's over. Panel's going to be over. Bye. And then Kevin Feige said, well, we have one more person coming out. And then it was Mahershala Ali, and he's wearing his hat. It was like, what does that hat say? And it said Blade on it.
But you can't read it.
You can't read it. No one can read it. What does it say?
Like, even on the big screen?
We couldn't read it. What is it? It's so small. And then...
Blase?
Well, imagine this with, the black and then the blood red instead of this bright red. So you can't read it from, the distance.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, play it. And it was like, wait, I thought Black Widow was the last thing because it's all full. The slate was so full. And then again, the title sequence starting to form. Like, oh, what's it going to be?
Yeah.
Blade. And we're like, what? And then Kevin Feige's, all right, good night. And then close out the panel. And we're like, you can't just do that.
That's amazing.
You didn't have to do that. You could have just closed out with Black Widow. You're just doing a victory lap. You're just stomping on everyone. You didn't have to. You didn't have to do that.
Basically giving everybody the sly twin birds, like, yeah.
Yeah, right. And no one has to go to Hall H ever again. Good night, everybody.
It's like, I'm like, DC, you can't do what Marvel does. No.
I love it too because there's another small contingent out there. These people aren't as evil as the other ones, as the chauvinists, but they're upset that Wesley didn't come back as Blade. And I'm definitely not one of them, even though I love Wesley Snipes.
I mean,
no, it's time to move
cool,
on.
but it's fine. Marshall Ali's awesome. He's gonna be
yeah,
guys.
And even Wesley,
You know what I'm talking about?
and even Wesley came out. Well, even Wesley came out and said, chill out, people. Like this is he's gonna do a great job.
He's Whistler, man. He's gonna be the guy who.
I think he'll be Whistler.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that idea.
That's the only thing you can do. He started the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a sense. That was Marvel's first big movie.
Yeah,
didn't start puppet exactly.
Yeah. It took many years for them to overcome Howard the Duck and that weird Captain America Fantastic Four.
Don't forget
Punisher.
Sealing his wounds.
Oh, the Punisher! I like that one though, and Howard the Duck. But anyway, yeah. Marvel was in movie jail for a long time. Like they'd make a movie and then they'd get 6 years off. Because I was like, that was god awful. And then we did Howard the Duck, then the Punisher 6 years later, and then Blade 10 years later. 98, I think.
Blade's awesome.
Blade's amazing.
Blade is awesome.
So good.
I love the second one too. The third one's terrible.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Trinity. Although Del Toro directed it.
Third one had a lot of problems.
I heard from Patton Oswalt that the movie may look like a D film, but if you see the effort behind the story it took to get that movie made, you'd give them all A+ all around.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the whole story because it's an hour-long video on YouTube where he just goes into the story of what they were doing. Apparently Wesley Snipes would make notes on the script or something like that. Post-it notes.
He
and sign
communicated
Blade.
with post-it notes. Yeah.
Oh, Trinity. Yeah. He was not getting
sense.
It wasn't Del Toro. Del Toro was the second one. The third one was somebody else, but he was not getting. I think it was Stephen Warrington.
Goyer.
No, did Goyer direct that one?
I think because Goyer was one.
I know he wrote them all.
He directed it.
I think he did. I don't quote me.
Either way,
I think he did.
Wesley wanted to roundhouse kick the director, so he couldn't be on set very often, except when he was shooting. And I don't think he liked Ryan Reynolds either.
He didn't.
Because Ryan Reynolds took over the movie. He's the only good part in that movie.
Well, I mean, so I can see. I've read more into this, and I think there's a lot more that we don't know that happened, and we're never gonna know unless they just have a tell-all kind of thing.
Directed by Goyer.
Maybe Patton.
Goyer did direct.
Maybe Patton Oswalt did a tell-all because I think Patton Oswalt is usually pretty frank and pretty blunt about what's going on.
That dude's got his finger on the pulse of nerd.
Oh yeah.
Nerd community.
But what I've read is that Wesley Snipes was kind of pissed off because he was promised a lot of things, and then they didn't make good on any of those things. They also reduced his screen time, which may have been because he was being an asshole on set, maybe not. But they brought in two.
No, it's because they were loving what Ryan Reynolds was doing.
Well, yeah, they brought
in him more time,
well,
and that's
not just
why
him, but also Jessica Biel. They brought in two other. And
Whistler's daughter. That was just.
I'm not saying that was a good move, story-wise or script-wise or whatever, but because
it's just poorly written. Like,
I don't really care about the third one that much, but
yeah, it's terrible.
But I think on his side of things, he felt like, well, man, I started this whole franchise. I was in the first two movies. My part's been reduced for the third one just to service these other two characters so that they can maybe do a spin-off with them.
Yeah, but Wesley,
which I can understand, but that doesn't mean he needs to be an asshole.
No,
either.
That's what I'm saying.
There are other adult ways to handle things instead of
if that movie would have been successful. If that movie would have been successful, we might have had our first shared universe, because they would have split off a movie with Whistler's daughter and Hannibal King, who are the Night Stalkers, right? Who hung out with Ghost Rider, which is awesome.
Yes.
I love the Night Stalker stuff.
Yeah.
So you have that, and then Blade 4 would have happened with Wesley doing his thing. So if Wesley didn't be such a bitch, we would have had a shared universe much earlier.
Oh my god!
But maybe it's better we didn't.
Maybe
it's better we didn't.
Worked out for the
Do
best.
you guys like Mahershala? Because people complained that, he's Cottonmouth already. How can you make him Blade?
No, I think it's fine.
It's clear Feige's peeing on the Netflix series, so I'm fine. Let's scoop whoever we want actor-wise out.
Yeah,
they're with forward.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, and everybody in the world has a doppelganger, so there you go.
They were so loosely connected. No, I should say loosely connected. There we go. That's better with air quotes. To the cinematic universe, I think that they always lip service. Oh yeah, everything's connected together, but the only connection was the New York incident.
And they would mention it every once in a while. And the fact that there was. They didn't call them metahumans, but whatever they special.
Enhanced.
Enhanced, is that what they call them?
But they used enhanced in Ultron as well.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they shared some things that.
But they never really, events in, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. were supposed to affect some things in the movie, and they never did. It was always one-sided. So I kind of,
Because not enough people were watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., unfortunately.
It's a good show. I feel bad for all the Marvel shows, because they were trying to build this big, huge thing, and then nobody really took to that. It was just
It's so hard, though. I mean, think about it. There's 21 movies, and to get people to see all of those is a chore. I know a lot of people who love the Marvel movies, but have missed 10 of them. So
But here's the thing about the Disney Plus thing. The announcements.
I was going to talk about this. Thank you.
Part of Phase 4 is they're including the
Marvel
Disney
Pod
Plus
again.
series, because it's now fully integrated.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I was going to look it up because I know it's Black Widow, Eternals, then they do WandaVision, and that's going to be Disney Plus, and then Loki is Disney Plus.
Yep.
And then I think is it
Falcon
and Winter Soldier?
That's the first one that's coming out.
Yeah.
Loki's the one I'm most excited for, because it's the Loki that's unaffected by any of the stuff that happened after Avengers. So his road to redemption is not part of it. This is going to be mischievous bad Loki.
See,
I love that idea. He might still have it somewhere along the line, but I think they're going to keep him as kind of the villain anti-hero.
Is it starting further back in the timeline, or what's
it's happening? It's happening when the in Avengers Endgame he takes the Tesseract and he disappears.
Oh, on that split timeline.
Yeah. So it's a completely different timeline.
Okay,
it's not the main timeline. They're finally going to explore another timeline, even though. It's funny. The writers and the directors are not the writers and directors.
No, you're right. It's the writers and directors.
They're on the same page.
Which are timelines?
Which if Cap split the timeline, or if he's in the.
I think he needs to personally. I think he needs to, but I'm not going to continue this argument because I made it several times on this pod before.
But
your feelings on Endgame.
I will
Yes.
not.
No, I want to hear you.
Well, I mean, he shows up in the exact same timeline he left, obviously.
Which is where they hit the pooch.
Yeah, but how do you know that's not a new timeline right there? It just happened, changed right there.
What, when the camera cut, it was a new timeline?
Yeah.
No,
See, no, you can't.
That's ridiculous. They're standing there, they turn, they look at him, he's there.
Well,
that's because
I think it needs
time
to be
travel.
Timeline. It needs to mean he shouldn't have come back.
I feel like it's
but
I feel like it's
also-
clearly demonstrated it's
let's
not
also
in that
say
movie.
this.
Which I hate.
He brought the shield back with him, so he's created another timeline because he brought the shield back to the main timeline with him. That shield got broken apart by Thanos.
And he didn't take it. You're right. He took the hammer.
Yeah, he took the hammer back.
He's been
But he
somewhere.
took it from in the past where the shield probably existed again. He just picked it
Yeah,
back up.
exactly.
So then, he stole the shield from himself to give to Falcon.
Yeah, well, wait. In this, was
right,
it ever shown?
it's
Can you
all
meet
messed
your
up
self?
now. Yeah.
He should have just not showed up. He should just gone to the time stream, danced with Peggy Carter,
And
and
that's
credits.
it.
I'd have been fine.
Boom.
You bring him back to have this big thing. Oh, I'm going to pass off the shield to Falcon, which is great. Do it in this TV show you know you're doing, where it's Falcon and Winter Soldier. Have them,
also-
who will wield the shield, perfect subtitle, and then you have them fight Baron Zemo.
Whoa,
Boom.
wield the shield.
I have a thing. Also, Wakanda still exists.
Yeah.
There's still vibranium in Wakanda. The shards of the shield are still out there. You can't tell me that Shuri and Black Panther can't reforge the shield,
Better shield.
and give it to Falcon and make some upgrades. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I know. I know.
Oh,
All right.
speaking of that,
Hold on, real quick.
I got one more thing
We're
for you
gonna-
to
we
say.
gotta go. We'll let it go. We're gonna go to break really quick,
Okay, yes.
and we're gonna finish up with this Marvel thing real fast.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in a sec.
We're never gonna get to Picard.
Yeah, we're not.
God.
we will.
I can just tell y'all now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Comic-Con special of The Way We Nerd Off the Rack, and we're gonna get John's last thoughts on the Marvel because there's a particular trailer we want to get
Well,
to.
maybe the last thoughts, though. I mean,
Yes, the last thoughts.
Yes.
for this pod.
You're gonna Captain America it?
Not yet.
Cap
Don't have the
Captain
shields.
America?
I had to bring the Iron Man today for.
I just
love
realized
the
our
Iron Man.
shield isn't here, or our sign. That's my fault.
There's a
Anyway.
Oh,
scene.
don't even get me started about
Sorry.
the deleted scene.
Okay.
I was like
Okay.
too Jesus-y. I was like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but it does show the fate of Gamora.
it does.
I know what you're talking about.
It does.
Again,
but I'm
leave
glad
it in
they
big
But
cut
it's
it.
it's better not to have that. It's better to be a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we want to get to this other trailer really bad.
My final thoughts on Marvel. The main thing was I saw that it was interesting that, as I've told you guys here on the pod before, that Marvel used their animation studio to basically kind of precursor what's going to come out in the movies.
What if?
Yeah.
Marvel, I think the new series they had was Marvel Rising. Oh, not even the What If stuff. The What If stuff. I'm very excited about that.
So excited.
Yeah.
And they're all doing the voices. Like all the actors from
yes.
the
Oh,
movies,
the movies
are doing the What If voices.
Crazy.
The placement of the What If in the schedule, though, is very precarious because look what one of my big theories I'll leave before I get into this piece. WandaVision comes out.
Yeah.
Griefing over the Vision, and she basically makes herself this little 50s family where it's Vision's alive. They have the 2 kids. She does that. And then what do we have a year later? Boom, Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. And that's a lot of M's.
And
I'm
she's
thinking
in it, and she's
House of M.
Yes, she's in it.
She's in it.
That's House of M right there. And
Yeah.
then you're going to have the What If series as the palate cleanser because she's going to reality. And then we're going to have this like,
That's where the mutants
what
come
happened?
in.
We're going to talk about the last 20 years or 10 years of movies, guys. And you're
Yeah.
going to leave us on a huge cliffhanger until What's-His-Face comes out.
And if you don't know what House of M is, which I'm sure you do if you read comic books and watch this show, House of M is a huge storyline that went through the X-Men where Wanda literally changed the entire reality of everything.
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
entire
She
universe.
gave everyone their heart's desire.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So, and it just shows you. I mean, they showed in the movies how powerful she is. She almost took down Thanos.
She's had a
She almost.
huge...
She could have too.
This is actually the next video I'm doing. I'm
I
doing a
think
video
somebody
right
else
now.
blindsided her when she was doing it, right? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
she,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't
No,
blindsided her. She was winning, and he's like, rain fire! Like, Thanos had to go Ramsey
Oh, that's right.
on his
That's
people
right.
to get out of it.
Yeah.
But that being said, that's my next video. Right now I'm doing a video that it should be finished up hopefully today or tomorrow about how Pulp Fiction is the first movie in the MCU. And then the next movie is going to be literally this House of M storyline they've been building. Because if you watch her movie by movie, there's 2 things you need. You need a huge increase of power, and you need a tragedy. And if you've seen her movie to movie, she's literally finishing Age of Ultron, ripping his heart out. Then she's killing 60 people by accident in Civil War. And then she's one-handing and soloing Thanos with or without 5 different gems.
Yeah.
So
Her
this
journey
show
to
has
the
been
dark
building.
side has been earned rather than Daenerys.
Very much so.
So,
But that being said, the one thing I did want to culminate on was Marvel Rising is the new animated series. I got a first glimpse of Falcon actually wearing some kind of Captain America mix blend outfit sort of thing. So
that's cool.
Sweet.
So counter to what he said originally back in the day, it looks like Falcon will be becoming some aspect of Captain America.
Falcon cap.
Despite what
Falcon.
Mackie said. So.
Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
the Falcon.
well, I mean, that's what happens in the comics too. He gets the white and blue and red. I mean, and it's primarily white, but it's got the blue and red elements, which looks awesome. And then he still has his falcon wings, and he's got the shield. It's a cool design.
Yeah.
Imagine that mixed with
He's still
his...
Falcon, but it's just he's wearing the title of Captain America.
Yeah,
You know the
exactly.
animated series they did like right after
got the
the
Stars and
movie got
Stripes.
really popular, like in 2013, 2014, when they took Earth's Mightiest Heroes away and they brought back this new series that was the movie
yeah.
Avengers plus Falcon.
Yes.
It's that Falcon costume plus the comic book Captain America
Totally
Falcon.
about
That's
that.
basically what the suit looks like.
I dig that. That's awesome. That's cool.
All right.
Yeah, that's all. Let's move
So
on.
we're gonna end Marvel there because Alex and I are really itching to talk about this one, and I'm gonna start
I am.
bringing out. Okay, we're all.
Yeah, we're all excited to talk about it.
I'm sorry, Joshua.
It's fine. I don't like Star Trek.
This is as much as I love Marvel and DC and comic books. This franchise, there's only one franchise that means more to me. Actually, it's equal. I would say it's equal. Star Wars and Star Trek.
You can like both. It's
You
okay.
can't.
It's
Okay,
acceptable
it's
to
not-
like Star Trek
It's
and
not
Star
like
Wars.
trying to be a communist and be a capitalist. It's not that those
They're
things
not
don't go together.
incompatible.
You want Coke? No Pepsi.
Number one, this is the easy way to do it. Star Wars is fantasy. Star Trek is science fiction.
Yeah,
So if you need that to be able to love both, do that. But I love both.
Well, I would also
Get
say
over it.
Star Trek.
We're not going to see this Enterprise.
Star
but,
Trek is more procedural than
Yes.
Star Wars too, which
So-
I appreciate. It's clean. It's got the
Which is sign of the times too when it was originally formed. So.
yeah, exactly.
All right, Alex. I want to start with you. What are we talking about right now?
Picard trailer.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
excited. Oh, Picard. Back in my life. Oh, yeah.
Missed you so much, and I didn't even realize it until I saw you in a brand new trailer.
Yeah, totally.
I cried like a little boy, like during that entire trailer. Everything they showed, I was like, I don't usually watch trailers over and over again unless it's Star Wars. Picard, I watched like 10 times.
Oh,
like
Patrick
right in a row.
Stewart, he made the whole Hall H watch it twice. He made us watch it twice because the first time we watched it, like, people were cheering and clapping and gasping, and then by the end of the trailer, Patrick Stewart said, "All right, we're gonna watch this again, but this time, hold your applause,
It's okay, I'm gonna
hold
hold
your
that.
cheers, because you might have missed a few things while you were doing that." And so they played it again, and then everyone was quiet.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, Picard said so.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can't say no to that. Like,
Yeah.
Make it so by shutting the hell up.
Yeah,
You nerds
exactly.
can shut the fuck up. We're gonna watch this again.
We're gonna watch
so we can all enjoy it. Thank you.
So many things. We probably don't have a lot of.
Yourself.
We don't have a lot of time to do this, but so many things to unpack in this trailer. Like there's so many things they show.
Yeah.
Like this isn't him, but you guys remember Hugh? Do you remember the Borg Hugh, the one?
Yeah.
Yes,
Iborg?
I've actually been
Yeah.
rewatching Next Gen for the past couple years,
How
and
can-
I just watched this pretty recently.
Yeah.
He's
Oh, okay.
He's the best.
He's just a Borg, but Hugh was the Borg that became. That,
Self-aware.
Well, like they
not
just
self-aware, but
disconnect
kind
him
of-
from the
self-aware,
hive
right?
mind, and
Yeah.
he
Yes.
becomes basically an individual.
Yes,
and
yes,
he
yes.
says "I" eventually, and then they send it back.
Yeah, I
And
Borg
I
was
think
the
he
name of
like
the episode.
screws up
Yeah.
the hive mind afterwards
He
to a
does.
degree
He-
because he like introduces the concept of individuality.
he
Yeah.
converts some
Yeah,
Borgs
it's cool.
into that.
Yeah, I
and
Well, then,
he's
don't
the
they have
precursor to Jerry Ryan's 7 of 9 from Voyager.
Is he part of it? Because there's the episode where Lore
Yeah,
has taken over
he's
the
part of
colony
it.
of the Borg, but isn't one of those
Hugh?
the guy Hugh from
That's where it
Iborg,
starts.
maybe?
I
That's
think
where it
what
starts.
happens
Because
is like they're lost. They don't understand how to be individuals, and then
Right.
Lore's like, "I
I'll
got
help
you."
you. I'll help
And
you.
then- yeah, exactly.
I'll be your
Wink.
god.
Yeah.
One leg at a time.
Oh,
Exactly.
is there a better evil twin? Like there could be some that equal him, but is there a better evil twin than Data Lore?
I love it. I love the
Data's-
way he acts Lore too.
Yeah.
It's great.
I love the name is
Well-
Data Lore. Like they call him Lore, but his name's actually Data Lore. Because he was a
Brent Spiner-
because
Brent Spiner is just
he's the
great.
first one.
I mean, he's
Brent
the
Spiner's
only-
amazing.
He's the
And
only person
speaking
who
of
can
which-
play that, so
Yes, he's
He's
best.
back too.
He's in the
Yeah,
trailer,
I'm so excited
Brent
about that.
Spiner, and now
Brent
this is the
Spiner.
big question: is it no? But here's the thing: because they show it, they pull open a drawer, and B4 is in the drawer.
yes.
People are also saying that what's happening on the screen. Maybe did you get more of a trailer, or was it the same trailer we got?
It was the same trailer we
Okay.
got.
They're saying that he might be Data on the holodeck.
I think it's a holodeck program that.
Oh, what? That they've like digitized data into
just
like a
wanna-
holodeck.
My wife is laughing at us from behind the camera because every time I watch Star Trek, she's like, "Oh, is this another holodeck crisis?" Because there are so many episodes
not that
that are holodeck.
Yeah,
crises.
it malfunctions like
especially
so
Vo-
dangerous.
You know why? Especially Voyager. I mean, like you watch Voyager, and I don't get me wrong, I love Voyager, but every other episode seems like, oh well, we've got another holodeck problem. Got to figure that out.
Oh,
Wait,
because
what's
it's really-
a holodeck?
It's still new tech at that point. It's
Wait a
like-
minute. Russell, do you not know Star Trek? Or are you just kidding?
I watched it. My mom watched
Okay,
Generation.
so make sure.
but
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't really watch it. I watched the J.J. Abrams stuff.
But
and
you're
I
gonna watch
watched-
it now.
I watched the 10 movies, but I fell asleep in half of them.
That sounds about right.
You know, yeah, like,
Awesome.
it's like
That's fair.
they're like half of them are
Also,
bad,
during
actually,
this
so
conversation,
that makes sense.
during this conversation, Russell fell asleep. He's just like,
Star Trek.
I was talking about
So
Star
it would
Trek.
only be
boring.
better if he fell asleep in the holodeck, and then we have a holodeck crisis.
Crisis.
and we
We're
have
not on a
We gotta
holodeck.
get him in.
Oh no!
We do have a green screen.
Then I'll do the Inception horn in the background.
Yes, yes.
All right, so they also
Anyway.
announced, and we're gonna wrap this up real quick. They also announced that Mr. Riker and Troy, Counselor Troy, are back. They if
Oh, really? I didn't
Oh,
know
I
you
that.
didn't
didn't
know
know,
Troy was back.
They didn't show him in the trailer.
Yeah,
but they
they-
announced that they're coming back, and they're married, which they got married in Nemesis.
Are they gonna be?
Did
So
they? I don't remember
Well,
that.
there's supposedly some ties to Nemesis in this, obviously with Data
it's
before.
at the
but
beginning of Nemesis.
I was about to say, isn't that how they open it?
Yeah.
you know, the funny thing is, it
Because
is
Data sings Blue Skies, and
Yes.
At the end,
Worf is like Irving Berlin, and just
at the end,
I love it.
That is pretty awesome. At the end of Nemesis, Data dies, sacrifices himself, Picard, and then they have that other android B4 that he finds, and then basically imprints on him the way Spock imprinted on.
Well, yeah, and it's his.
It's
so
kind
his,
of a cool circular.
His
way
neural
to get back
net
to
is essentially unspooling into B4,
Yeah.
so he's not. He's still processing all of who Data was to essentially become Data. I mean. All of his
he's like
memories,
unzipping
his
the data files.
experiences.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Before.
I really hope they bring this guy back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm wearing my Q shirt that I had to rip the sleeves off because there was, they got holes in the armpits, and I'm not going to throw this shirt away. So I made it a workout shirt.
It's too spectacular.
But it's, dude, my brother got this at a Star Trek convention back in. My brother wasn't even a Star Trek nerd. I was a Star Trek nerd. But and he has an autograph from Walter Koenig and Sulu. I can't think of his name. I love this man, George Takei.
Yeah.
So this shirt is near and dear to my heart, and for me, he's still the best Star Trek singular bad guy. The Borg are the best bad guys.
Oh yeah.
But so the Next Generation, oh my god, that's my show. I love the original show, but
No, Next Gen's like where it's at for sure.
come back, John Delancey, please. All right. Anyway, all right, that's gonna do it for now. But I think we'll probably have some more talk about Comic-Con next pod. I don't know if we dedicate a whole pod to it, but
Is she that short in real life?
no, but
Riker is super tall though.
I was gonna say,
That guy is extremely tall. Not as tall as Picard in this. But.
no, that's First Contact.
Oh, he was on top of a book. I was like, oh my
She's-
god,
Yeah.
some size difference.
That's First Contact Picard, so that toy was bigger than the rest of the line. Anyway, all right.
She's
We
average
will
height,
see you.
which is okay.
I am Dan Villalobos.
I'm Joshua Potter.
I'm John Hudson.
Russell Funk.
Alex Wells.
We'll see you next time. Love you all.
Oh my god.
We're silly.